A cold, damp cave, illuminated by mysterious glowing tech and highlighted by a chandelier of open flames, is in front of us. A woman with bright red hair stands eyeing down a pale man in a worn lab coat. A look of extreme worry covers the woman's face. How do you think this is going to end? Our boss would never stand for this. A conniving grin makes its way over the pale man as a fresh light enters the room. The door to this cave space opens, and in walks another man donning a dark cloak. This garment obstructs his face from sight. The woman turns to see the new visitor as he removes his hood. The woman goes pale as she sees who has joined their company.
Damn, breakfast burritos and like a mimosa or something. Instead of
Hey everybody,
vodka,
welcome back.
tequila.
Welcome back to
probably
Wanderful, a somewhat
known for
D&D podcast. I'm your lovely DM Tyler, and I'm joined by my three good boys, Kyle, Matt, and Jeremy. Why don't you go ahead and say hello, Kyle, Matt, and Jeremy, who are my three good boys?
I'm a good boy. Hello.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to make such
Kyle's-
terrible hell noises.
Kyle's the demon.
I eated one of those and it got stuck in my nose for a week before this, so I'm sorry if I'm a little coughy.
Well, we have a bit of a special episode ahead of you today, as well as the next couple episodes. We are going to be, let's just say, if you haven't listened to the last couple episodes, tensions are high in Duradera right now. Tensions are high within J3B even. So it would be very difficult for us to continue just doing normal episodes. So what we're going to do here is we're going to, for the next couple episodes, be splitting up a little bit. So I'm sure you've been able to tell from the title of this episode, but this episode we are going to be focusing on our bluest boy, Bon, and his
It's funny you
hijinks.
bring up Blue. It's so
Is
funny
it?
you bring up, yes.
Why is
Yes.
that?
Because after his little sort of sparring match we had with our brother and kind of letting off some steam, he ventures off to his sewer sanctum.
Sewer sanctum, yes.
Is where the camera pans down and we see us obviously stolen out of the hotel that they were keeping mirror with some of the like drywall still a part of it, like hooked up on a wall.
Like you just ripped it.
Yeah,
the
fully
drywall
just
out
ripped
and
it out
everything.
during like a rage and like was gonna throw it, and then he just looked at probably Carveth and's like, I'm gonna keep this actually.
But the
And then we don't have to play that out. It's fine.
Yeah,
He just
no.
took it and walked out probably one day.
yeah.
But like after that, even though he
yeah.
put on the airs of like kind of getting his shit off, you see him now standing over a basin of cleanish water and staring into this mirror, and his subtle blue complexion slowly ripples and fades into a deep, dark black and splotchy gray. As you see that rage kick back into his eyes like a fire being lit, and he fucking punches the mirror he took, and it probably took him a long time to get down into the sewer, to be honest. And he cracks the
Just
mirror.
for this, Bon is nothing if not a showman.
Yes,
Oh
no,
my
even
God.
when no one's around, I'm so glad you picked up on that. He's fully doing like a thing. Like he's really like, he's upset obviously, but like this is all like a thing for him. Like he's to get this shit out somehow, and like I think it's just a catharsis and like kind of leaving his normal cheery self behind and becoming this sort of cloudy individual. But anyway, back to what you need to say.
So
that's all I wanted to address real quick for base Bond.
Matt and Jeremy are going to have a part in this episode as well, so they're not just going to be sitting here silently, but we'll get to that in a little bit. First things first.
I'm the realist.
The rest in peace, Uncle Phil. The months following Duradera leaving off into space, turmoil continued to grow and grow exponentially. As more time passed, things just continued to keep getting worse. You'd think at some point things would level out. They haven't yet.
Fingers crossed.
So,
man, is this real life?
Yeah, a little bit. Right what you know. So you know that, things, we've seen a little bit of how things have progressed with your characters and a little bit with Duradera. But I'm interested to see to ask you, Bon. We'll get into like role play and all of the story and all that in a little bit. I'm curious how Bon got to where we are right now.
I think
Kyle, both in you, Kyle, deciding you want to go this vigilante route, and how Bon got here.
I think to speak from Kyle's perspective, I think overall we've kind of seen this happen with him, where he's kind of had these sort of like, and not to get into too much, but like he's had these sort of like moments of like failing and like feeling like he's got to take responsibility for where he failed and go make up for where he failed at, and then every time something stops him. Something has stopped him from getting that comeuppance. Something has stopped him from like getting that sort of cathartic closure that he thinks he needs to put to rest with these situations and most of this stuff. And then to be, straight up kidnapped, if we talk about it really, like no one leaves type of fucking insanity. And then to have your sort of like have that loss on top of like what feels like a sort of like, not a loss, but like a divide in his family and like their sort of ideals and morals and stuff like that. And like how he still has a fire in him, even though things seem hopeless. And it seems like the other two are just trying to bide their time or do whatever. Like he thinks this is the time. He thinks he needs to take action. Like he thinks like normally he's the one who's blasé about everything. And to think that when he finally is like, you know what, let me actually try to do something about it beyond just like, throw a hissy fit. Let's actually see if we can buckle down and make a plan. No one wants to do that because their spirits are broken. Hey, guess what? His spirit's been broken time and time again. He's tired of it now. And I think that's where we're at. I think that's the full long and short of it. I think that explains just his thing. I don't even have to go into that for him. Like that's just where he's at.
Yeah, that totally makes sense.
And I think to like the straw that broke the camel's back truly was like having that argument with his brother. And like, he was just like, wow, there's no saving you. There's no getting a fire started in you. Fuck trying to like sympathize and give up and do all this other shit. No, you should see what I see and you don't want to. Or you see it, but you're hopeless about it.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Gotta bring some hope.
So I'm curious. I have an idea of what I think it's like, but I'm curious to hear your thought. What does what are the responsibilities you would say that Bloodmoon has taken on or put upon himself? Like I kind of pictured just like
to use
mostly
such a
like
douchey term.
go ahead.
He considers himself a disruptor.
Interesting.
He wants to send a message. He wants to send a message with to the people it's for without like causing harm to others, and to protect those who feel as though they don't have a voice, to show them you don't have to be scared to say what's on your mind because I'm in the shadows. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So what I kind of pictured was a lot of protecting people when you see someone in trouble. That typical
just comes
stuff.
Innately with the hero territory.
Naturally. But so would you say...
Oh, no. I think his overall goal is to send a message to the higher-ups of Duradera and to those who are being complacent and to those who are like, who feel like there's no hope in this. Like it's the artistry of it all. Like I call him a superhero, but it's Bond at the end of the day when you really think down into it. Sure, it's Bloodmoon, but it's Bond, and he's a performer. He's an artist.
Just because
he's a performer and artist
costume.
first. At the end of the day, and an adventurer and a hero second. He's always been about that life.
Yep.
And I think with this is his perfect time to combine those worlds. When worlds collide.
When worlds collide. So I think we open on a scene of Bloodmoon. Our first time seeing them in action.
Mm-hmm.
I think we open on Bloodmoon standing in between two normal everyday citizens of Duradera and two robot guards who were getting just a little too frisky, if you will. Right now, I don't want to worry about rolling anything.
Mm-hmm.
I just want you to give us some flavor. Give us some. What does Bloodmoon's style look like? How is he handling this?
Hold on, you cold steel bastards. What are they being charged with? What's the crime?
Wait, hold on. Did we establish day or night?
Oh, yes. Do you typically go out at night, or are you?
This is a nighttime thing. So yeah, he would be out patrolling the streets and doing his art at night. When the moon rises, so too does Bloodmoon.
The artist formerly known as Bond.
Yes, the artist formerly known as Bond. 100%. That's hilarious.
I think you ask these guards what their purpose is, and they simply respond with "Stand down."
I've done nothing wrong. I've asked you but a question and protected them from what you're trying to do. You seem to be harassing these folks with no probable cause.
I think that Bond would also know that even before Bloodmoon made his debut, there were a handful of people
protesting,
doing similar things, standing up to the robot police. I think that
just
they have sort of developed. What? Say again?
Not just people on the street just fucking with the robots.
So not even just people on the street. Other people have taken on the vigilante thing. Because remember, during the press conference,
these are some little blow Joe kind of types that are doing a similar.
Yeah, there's people who just want to take action.
I think I'd be well, if you'd give me a second, I can speak to them since you don't seem to have any information. What have you done? What are you doing?
Wait, who are you asking?
I turned to the other guys that were being harassed. What'd you do to cause this interaction between you're not supposed to fuck with these guys. They wouldn't be fucking with you if you didn't do something. Come on now. What'd you do?
Is the superhero now standing with the cops?
Yeah, he's just got his hands. He's just got one gloved hand up, and you can see a little spark of this crackly red sort of electricity on it, but not anything magical beyond that. Just kind of flexing.
I think that they tell you that essentially all that's really happened is they refused to follow the commands of these two robot guards. It's late at night. I think
maybe a curfew situation.
I think I don't think there's a strict curfew per se. There's kind of
situation?
There's kind of a what are you doing out here? It's not you have to go inside, but if you're out here, you need to be ready to tell us what you're doing out here.
It seems those citizens were headed home, actually. Go figure. They don't live quite around here. They took a late dinner, and so they were out a bit past curfew, I would assume. And so, being the good citizens that they are, to protect the environment, this dome, I don't know how the air's cycled in space. That's a question for some higher ups. However, they're not going to ride in any vehicles because they don't work.
Look at each other shit, how does that work?
They don't work. They the cars don't work. So they're going to walk their way home like the good citizens that they are, make their way
Then why, if they're good citizens, then why do they refuse to answer questions?
What are the questions that you have for them? They did not mention questions. You didn't mention.
What?
Hey, man. You guys. Hey, he just puts the hand he was holding up at the robots to his lip. Hey, you guys didn't answer. You guys didn't answer his questions. You didn't tell me about any questions.
It sounds like Bloodmoon is less of a superhero and more of like a freelance attorney.
A little bit.
Just helping the people out. Hey,
I'm with it, man.
you shouldn't. Hey, if you don't have anything going on, don't talk to them. Why are you talking to them? Why didn't you tell me about the questions? Yeah, I turned and whisper this to them.
No, so I think that Bond definitely knows that if you're out this late, you're likely to be stopped by the police and questioned about what the hell you're doing out this late. Like, it's not that they're going to arrest you for being out, like, past curfew in big quotes. Like, you're technically, like, they're not arresting you for being out. But
they were grabbing on these guys, so I assume there's more to this story that has yet to be led on by either party.
So I think what we've got here, the situation.
I'm trying to persuade them to kind of be forthright with me if they can in like a succinct way. Like,
I think the situation is the cops rolled up on these two, and these dudes were like, "Fuck you." I think that's what we're looking at.
Oh, I like your chutzpah, kid. Listen, there's nothing technically illegal with that, but like you're gonna cause them to ask you, "Hey, what are you fucking doing?" Just walking up, like if you're being a dickhead. Like, listen, can you look at this thing? Can you kick its ass? I can. I know I can. But can you?
Is that a threat?
No. I just mean objectively, the two of you wouldn't stand a chance against me. But that's not what we're here for.
We need more superhero stories like this.
What I mean to say is, buddy, leave the fucking with these guys to some proper gents, some proper lads, some proper gals, and other just leave it to people who aren't you. Get the fuck home. All right, citizen, I see you have a little anxiety, so you have to whisper really quietly to me only, and that's why you didn't talk to it's a little phobia thing. Sorry about that. Hey, no harm, no foul. I get it. They're gonna go home now. But yeah, he just stands proudly after he says that and like is like, get the fuck out of here. Out the side of his mouth.
I think they like totally start to walk away after you say all that to them. And I think the robot guards kind of step to all of you and say, hold up, did we say you were dismissed?
What are they being detained for? Hold on, this has gotten a little hostile. I feel like we worked something out here. You heard them out a little bit. They answered, I assume, your question. What other question would you have for them? Please tell me. Do enlighten me. Ask me your questions.
What is it you are doing out this late and in a costume, no less? I think we know what's going on here.
A far better job than you, I'd say.
What?
You heard me.
I just love this robot.
I asked them a question. They answered it. They're on their way. There's no crime done there. I don't have to harass them any further. They don't need to be detained by me.
Who programmed that?
What's your purpose?
Detained by you? Why don't you come with us and you can answer some questions?
No. I've done nothing wrong. I told you I was on my way. My costume is just... What if I'm coming from a costume party? You don't know. Isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting how stupid you look?
There are no costume parties scheduled for tonight, though.
Yeah, parties you know about. Have you talked to every citizen in this city? My God, my guy. Cool. Somebody's got to program you with some common sense. Things happen outside of your purview. You know that, right?
I think the two robots look at each other a little unsure of what to say.
Now, I'm going to go home, wash off all this makeup, and kind of chill out. You guys go about doing whatever it is you're good at, which I think is just walking about. And I'll do my thing at my home. Because I guess there's a curfew. Why are you so angry that people... You don't know where anyone's coming from, but there's no curfew established? I asked you about that. You had no answers for that. Man, wow, they really got to work on your programming, buddy. And Bloodmoon kind of gives him like a gentle tap on the shoulder and just turns and starts to walk away.
I think the two look at each other confused and also just walk in the other direction.
He just wipes an invisible bead of sweat from his mask.
I'm just imagining like a comic book, but like instead of like bang, pow, it's know your rights, diplomacy.
Exactly.
Well,
I'm not gonna start
this
shit
was-
unless they start shit.
Yeah.
Oh my!
This was great
this is
because I
Phoenix,
really
right?
just, honestly, I really just wanted to get a little taste of how how Blood Moon handles situations.
Yeah.
And now we know.
He's not making the first swing.
Yep.
Blood Moon will never make the first swing. Does that mean he has other machinations? We'll find out.
Okay, so Blood Moon, you
He ducks into an alley as
dismantle-
soon as they're out
Yeah.
of like eye shot.
you dismantle this situation. I think you're actually pretty close to the barn, which is kind of your.
Can I see town square from where I'm at?
Can you see it? No, but you're not too far.
Okay, cool. I think once it like kind of calms down and I start to see less sort of like thorough traffic of people actually going home, because I assume they were probably going home. These guys are just fucking with them, and they don't fuck with the police, and they're like, "Get out of my face." But
So what are you doing?
I'm waiting until it kind of cools down in terms of traffic, and I don't see those fucking robo goons walking around. And you remember in the last little walkabout as Bond, where he went and marked down certain spots in the Central
Oh,
Park kind of area. As he's walking through the alleyway towards that kind of area, I also want to mark, but instead of regular chalk, I'm using magic chalk because he's putting down glyphs of warding as he walks.
What's that?
So a glyph of warding, I can apply a spell to a surface as long as that surface doesn't move within 15 feet away from its original point. I can cast a spell within that and have a trigger for it, and the spell will go off during a thing. So I want a motion detector one just at the edge of this alleyway, like coming out of this alleyway in case I was being followed.
Okay.
And I am going to put, I want to put silent image in there, and it is me in my full Blood Moon regalia peeking from sort of a vantage point, like out of the corner behind them. Like if they pass through it, they'll see me peeking out of the corner like I was behind them instead.
Okay.
And then as I make my way to the park, at each point, I want to put a new glyph of warning. And I'm putting my spell, I'm marking off my spells for these. I put one on the bathroom. I put one on the stage kind of area. I put one down the walkway coming from the stage towards like any sort of like path to like the bathrooms and like a walking path. So that's just 3. And each of these are going to have, I'm going to have 2 of them be another silent image. And then I'm going to have one that is hypnotic pattern.
What's that do?
So the one on the stage is hypnotic pattern, and what hypnotic pattern does, it creates a twisting pattern of colors that weave through the air inside a 30-foot cube within range. And the patterns are there for a moment, then they vanish. Each creature that you see in this area that see the pattern must make a wisdom saving throw on a failed save. They become charmed for the duration. While charmed, this creature is incapacitated and has 0 speed.
So what is Bond's intention here?
He's going to go through now
Or
with
Blood Moon?
his own paint. Yeah, Blood Moon will be going through now with his own painting tool and creating mural-like graffiti on these different structures that have nothing to do with magic. This is just painting style, like tagging on these things. And each of them will say one word each. One on the stage, kind of platforming area, a big one down the entirety of the path, and then one on the bathroom.
Okay. What do they
So
say?
on the
What are they?
stage, it says "your" in like this crazy kind of calligraphied black and red paint, like not "you are," like "you're possessive."
Yeah.
And then across the pathway, it is going to say "help" with quotations around it. And then across the bathroom, instead of in like a different font with like a green sort of like PU, like obvious bathroom bullshit outline, it says "stinks." And it's like super, super fucking corny. He's not hiding the fact that he's doing this. However, I am casting Blessing of the Trickster on himself, so he's got advantage on stealth.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Why don't you give me a stealth roll? Just you're in town square. This is,
Okay.
it's not unreasonable that you
Yeah,
be
no,
found
and he's
here.
not quite being stealthy per se, so even if I fail
yeah.
it, it's not his intention. But like, that is, ooh, that's 6. Wait, I have advantage on it. Hold on, let me roll my other one. That is double 2. So yeah, that's a 6.
Oh no! Oh god!
Listen, we haven't done a lot of rolling as of late.
Yeah, I'm
on
okay with
Wanderful
it too, like
proper.
just because of like the outcome
So
I wanted.
that sounds about right.
Yeah. He's fully just
so-
like under a street light doing one of the tags, like the big one.
Yeah,
Maybe he's like
I
finishing
think-
up detailing on the big one in the walkway.
One of the
I think
robots
you're,
just comes out.
I think you're tagging the pathway when you are noticed. You hear a group of these robot guards advancing on your position.
Mm-hmm.
Is it Bond's
Yeah.
inclination to run away?
100%. He's going to run into the bathroom and clap. As he does, the glyph on the bathroom activates and Silent Image throws a Bloodmoon, just kind of like waving and like running to the back of the bathroom to hide behind it instead of inside of it.
All right. Let me...
And then he flushes himself down the toilet
my
back to
God.
the sewer lair.
And as they're going to follow
No,
the
the
silent
sewer
image of him
Yeah,
behind
that,
the
that
bathroom,
totally works.
as they're following him behind the bathroom, he just hides behind the door of the bathroom, not in any stall or anything, but he's literally behind the very door of the bathroom.
It's like a children's game of hide and
And if
seek.
any one of them comes to the bathroom, he's just going to close the door. He's not slamming it hard, but he's definitely closing the door.
I think that totally works. They follow the silent image.
All right. As they do that, he's
and-
going to duck off towards the stage.
The greatest
Okay.
hero.
So I would say, give me another stealth roll
Gotcha.
if you're ducking over to the stage.
Oh, I like that better than a 2. Okay, yeah, that's 18 plus 4. That's
Okay,
22.
I would say you're able to tag the other two locations without any sort of
Oh,
difficulty.
perfect. Yes, yes. The stage is going to be the final one, even though that's
Okay,
basically the start
cool.
of the imagery one. So he's finishing that up as he's on the stage while they're looking through the bathrooms for him.
Yeah, you're
And that
definitely
image
able
is
to do
still
that.
running around the bathroom as some of them have yet to really figure.
And it's like doing Scooby-Doo logic.
Oh
going
my
in
God,
one
He's just
yes.
stopping
direction,
every now and then and
over.
flipping them off, like back at the position that they would have been in. So they could pick up, obviously it's a loop. And as they run down if they, I don't know what they're doing yet. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. They chase off after the silent image of you, and you take that opportunity to go finish tagging what you intend to, and you do without any sort of issue. And now your quote unquote help stinks is tagged in town square.
Oh yes. Okay, I think after he tags that, he's going to tap the inside of his coat where he's patched the little like specific spots and cast 2 more glyphs of warding, feather fall inside of his cape. And he is going to. I think he's going to is there like a PA system kind of like lighting setup for this like staged kind of like tough?
No, I think the whole thing is has been struck for now.
Okay, cool.
I think that all of the be it technological or magical like sound equipment has all been taken down. I don't think they trust that it will still be there in working order.
think-
Presumably it's
At night.
stored nearby, though.
I
if
think
you
he pulled.
wanted to.
No, that's fully. It's all good. I think he pulls if there's like a lighting setup that he can't like see a box for yet. I think he pulls both his crossbows out. I think he has 2. Let me make sure. It doesn't matter if he has 2. I'll use 1 for this. It doesn't matter. And he casts a cantrip light on 2 bolts for his crossbow, and he shoots them both up at some non-on light bulbs to create the noise, but also create a light source near the stage to draw their attention.
Okay. So you're trying to draw the guards' attention back to the stage?
Yes.
Yeah, I would say you're able to do that.
And they start to run. You got to
So
let
you
me know when
basically
they're
just shot 2 flares.
like they don't
I
notice
think
him.
that totally
Yeah,
catches
like
their attention and they turn tail. I think they're able to figure out at some point that you're just giving them the runaround.
Mhm.
Or
I think
your
as
your
they hit
vision
as
of-
they hit the stage looking for the source of him, like I'm gonna duck into like kind of behind or like underneath in some capacity, like try to hide. And when they make it onto the stage to see what's happening, I'm going to activate the hypnotic pattern one.
Okay.
They have to make a wisdom saving throw against my spell DC, which is 16, I believe. Yes.
All right. I would say there's
How many? Yeah,
Let's
I don't
say
know
there's
how many
4
there
of
are, but I
them.
want to be at a vantage point where
Yeah.
he's hidden but can see now that there's kind of a light source what he's working with.
You said what roll again?
A wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom. There's a 16, so that saves. A nat 1. Another fail. And a nat 20. All right.
So two of them succeed and two of them fail.
2 super succeed, 2 fails, one of them being a massive failure.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, they're all extremely, or 2 of them rather, are extremely disoriented. And I think that at the very least, the one of them who rolled the natural 20 not only maintains his composure, but notices what's going on with the other 2 and readies himself for some sort of encounter and alerts the other one who successfully.
As he's alerting him, they hear a booming voice from Bon as he shouts, "Halt!" and casts command at first level on both of them. Oh no, I second level on both of them because I get another person to cast that on.
All right. And they have to make a save for that as well, right?
It's also a wisdom saving throw, but this one is one less, 15.
Well, one of them rolled a dirty 20 and the other rolled 11.
Okay,
so I think
one stops and the other one's there.
I think the one that rolled the nat 20 is able to resist this because he is so on alert of whatever's happening right now. Mm-hmm. The other one stops, and this one that resists sees all 3 of his compatriots more or less immobilized, incapacitated, and draws his weapon, which is sort of like a baton kind of thing, and gears up to pounce.
All right.
Was that because he's a robot he's gearing up?
Oh my god. I'm still
unintended, but yes.
Does he know where I'm at? Do I still have to does he know where I'm at?
I think he can't tell where you are.
Okay,
yet.
Cool. Yeah, I think I'm not going to attack them because I haven't done any sort of physically harmful thing quite yet.
I was not prepared for the peaceful protest vigilante. That was very...
I was not either.
I'm all about it, man.
It's not necessarily peaceful protest he's going to fight if he has to fight, for sure. But he's showing them something. He's just fucking with them. He's trying to make them look stupid, look foolish. I think he's going to cast from his vantage point on the one that made the dirty 20. Okay. Deafness and blindness.
Oh my god. Jesus.
All right.
Christ.
You are burning.
I assume they have a chance to
I know, it's okay. That's the point, because at the end of the day, Bloodmoon's fighting is his fighting.
True.
I had a whole... We'll talk about this in the after hours, about the show and everything.
So, do they have to save for that as well?
Yes, that is going to be a Constitution save this time. 15.
Okay. I thought that was a nat
against,
one.
Yeah.
No, that's a 10. So they fail.
Yeah. So he immediately goes blind, and then Bon rushes him with his.
Yeah. All 4 of them are incapacitated
with his 50 feet of rope that he has.
All right.
And he is going to try to corral them as he's running around them now that none of them really are paying attention, and try to tie them together physically with this 50 feet of rope.
Yeah,
and he has 2 of this, so it's 100 feet of rope actually.
So I think that the one that you just casted, deafness and blindness, the moment it feels your presence, it's just going to start swinging randomly.
He's got disadvantage.
Just going to make a disadvantage roll to attack.
He might hit one of the other robots though, and that'll release
He very well might. That's part of what we're seeing.
Should I be rolling for initiative yet, since he's fighting me?
No.
Okay.
Fine.
Well, then if there's no turn order per se, as I'm running, I'm going to cast a level 1 mirror image. So now there's 2 blood moons running around in circles.
To be fair, it can't see.
That's fine. No, the other ones can see just in case they...
Oh, yeah.
He's doing this for maximum distraction.
Does a 16 hit you?
A 16, yes. It does hit me.
It connects and deals 5 damage to you, so not much. It's just a random. It's just
like
randomly
a baton.
swinging.
Yeah, no, I feel that would hurt if I got as Kyle hit with a baton.
Yeah,
5 damage sounds right. 5 damage sounds like to a normal human who's not an adventurer. You might need to go to a doctor the next day.
Because of when you casted blindness and deafness, it does also accidentally hit its friend who you had just casted halt on, and deals 10 damage to it.
Oh fuck! Hell yeah! As that's happening, he's just wrapping these 250 feet of rope he's got around all these robots and like making these like haphazard knots as the other one is running the opposite kind of counterclockwise of his running motion around them to just, if anyone breaks the hypnotic pattern sort of spell, like on their turns, if you want to count them as that, they can do more wisdom saves to see if they snap out of it.
I think you're good.
Okay, perfect. And then as he sort of like ties them over, he's definitely cow tipping the fuck out of this pile of robots.
So, Bloodmoon, you hog tie these 4 city guards and cow tip them over. And I assume you fart as you run off, just because that feels like what we're talking about.
Like this, like the Spider-Man, like
he does the leap.
Yes, exactly.
He does the leap.
Later, chump.
There's a puff. You think it's a fart, but it's actually his glyphs of Featherfall, like kind of acclimating a little bit as he just takes off, light-footed, kind of like jauntily skipping away from his crime he's just committed. Yeah. And now all the Bond images that are in the park are just kind of flossing.
So we
return. Sorry, I gotta keep Bloodmoon.
Yeah.
Canonically, when I was asking Carveth to do a perception check about something about Bond, when he shows up at the barn, he's wearing clothes over part of his Bloodmoon costume.
Oh yeah,
that was kind
makes
of
sense.
I think that was my only bad roll that day.
Yeah, like
failed.
from here, he just dips using the images to kind of keep people distracted who might be following, and just goes straight to the barn as he's like stripping out of the clothes and kind of putting them in his pack in the alleyway.
Yeah, so you do this and return to the bar where your friends kind of go to unwind. Your night isn't over by any means.
Yeah, for sure.
But you
he's just kind of creating an alibi.
A good successful, you had a good successful meeting or a good successful like little mini mission. Creating an alibi is a good point. But you head into the barn and you see Finn and Owen are there and a few other people.
Yeah, and it just, you could kind of, if you want, cut back into that like a little bit of like snippets of that speech from that, because I don't remember that speech because it's kind of a little.
No,
off
you're
the
good.
cuff.
No, this is a different day than the last recording.
Oh, okay.
But so
he's definitely fucking winded as shit.
Oh, I'm sure,
because it's fucking Bond. As much as he's like doing all this finessey shit, that took 1,000,000,000% of his concentration and effort.
So, Finn and Owen have sort of become, they've sort of been working almost as like, they've sort of been working almost as like your liaisons, not just yours, but they've been kind of keeping an ear to the ground of the city. They've been talking with a lot of people and keeping you and other people who are doing similar things to you up to date with the various shady goings on of town. And when you get back, y'all are having drinks and kind of relaxing. Finn sort of has a bit of a worried look on her face this evening. And you have been spending a lot of time with Finn, and I think you noticed this pretty much right away.
Hey, can I get some water? I know that's the weirdest thing to say as soon as you walk into a bar. I absolutely need a drink that won't kill me right now. My heart. Jogging is not my forte, because he's in like basically just like a sweatsuit kind of deal to cover up what he couldn't take off right away. That was like the gloves, the boots, and the mask. Yeah.
Owen sort of looks at you and says, you know the deal, this late, you fix your own drinks.
Oh, you got it. And he just kind of hops behind the bar. Hey, Finny, what's I don't mean to say you're kind of matching my energy today, but you seem a little worse for wear. Are you okay?
Yeah.
And he just chugs the loudest glass of water while he's like just nodding and doing like the come on, keep talking.
So what I want to introduce you to a couple people. Bon.
Okay.
So he and she sort of waves over from the other side of the room, and we see two other people in full costumes just like yours.
So Finn and Owen, you're kind of like establishing that they know about my biz outside of my family circle. That's so fucking... even if you haven't told them, but they're like, oh, that was Bond. That was Bond. Yeah. The fucking hog tying and
the graffiti, like that's Bond. If it,
I think then that's like his April O'Neil and his fucking like Zordon type situation. Like Owens, two different franchises entirely.
Yes.
I know, but like you know what I mean. The crime fighting helper outer
Master
pals.
Splinters in the sewer sanctum.
So they let you know. They call these two other characters over. And Finn says, Bon, I want to, actually, are you cool with them
Hold one
meeting
sec,
like this, or do you want to be in
No, he goes, and he does like the actor, like,
yeah.
I just came from a lot of, pardon me, I have to go to the bathroom. And he just runs to the bathroom with his bag and just comes back out with the bag still on his back, but the like sweatsuit's unzipped and he's just half wearing the mask, but none of the makeup and the rest of the pomp and circumstance.
Yeah.
Yes.
I love this energy right now.
Hello. It's quite literally like his first sort of like week, maybe month of doing this.
Yeah, totally. This is early into Bloodmoon.
Yeah.
She says, oh, hey, Bloodmoon.
Yes, it is
so
I
want to introduce you. No, I misspoke early. I wanted to introduce you to...
Bon is taking a poo.
Yes, we can all smell it.
It's bad in there.
I wanted to introduce you to two of my compatriots. They... I know names are weird, I guess, because I get the whole anonymity thing. Mm-hmm. This still feels weird, but I want to introduce you to the Knuckle and the Phantom Bolt.
Excuse that's just Kyle being shocked. That's not even... the Knuckle and the Bolt, you said?
The Phantom Bolt.
The Phantom Bolt. Oh my God. Those are incredible.
These two characters enter the scene. Do y'all care to introduce yourselves or describe yourselves? Who wants to go first? All right, just tell us like what your costume's like, weapon if you have one,
so,
fighting style or crime fighting style, superhero style.
As the Knuckle and the Phantom Bolt get introduced, in walks this pretty old gentleman, like probably like late 60s, with like with like
not what I expected,
with like black and gray, like salt and pepper, mostly gray, but like salt and pepper hair put up into a Viking like braid, so it all goes up and it's like braided back. He's got like black like instead of a mask, like the little like Robin mask.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Instead of that, it's literally that, but it's like early like Arrow, where it's just all like black mascara and it's like comes down in like a Viking, like
that's dope.
Comes down in like
Very
a Viking
cool.
Kind of like scary looking thing. He's decked out like in this big. Yeah, he's decked out in like this big like fur Viking, like just like Viking, old Viking is basically
this is a big Viking named the
Viking.
Knuckle. But
what is your weapon?
So on his back, you see a giant. What is it? You see a giant great club. And at the end of the club, it's in the shape of a knuckle, like a closed fist.
Like a fist.
Yeah.
The guy named Knuckle doesn't use fists.
He beats them with a bat that has a fist attached to it. That's incredible.
I very much so pictured. Do any of y'all remember in Monster Hunter there was a hammer you could get that was just a giant fist? That's what I'm picturing.
I just picture a cartoon boxing glove made out of wood.
Basically.
And the Knuckle approaches Bloodmoon. The Knuckle is pleased to finally meet Bloodmoon.
There's another one.
I think he just snaps in the hero mode and he gives you like the Predator style, like Arnold Schwarzenegger handshake.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And he just looks you in the eyes.
All of our veins just like pulsate. Like
hell yeah. And he's just like
every person in this establishment busts a nut.
Oh shit.
Yeah, he's like, a pleasure to meet you, the Knuckle.
Please, the Knuckle is my father.
And you are, and he gestures over to Phantom Bolt.
So picture armored ninja.
Yeah, like a ninja with like full like military garb attached.
Yeah, like SWAT armor mixed in with a ninja garb.
Dude, that's
Okay.
fucking sick.
He
Love
has
it already.
2 hand crossbows that are like
I like your
strapped
style.
like guns on his sides.
Yep. That's how Bloodmoon carries his. This is sick.
And he's got like black goggles, like tinted black. Like, so basically you can't, his whole outfit makes it to where you cannot
See any of his skin?
Yeah, like he's
Holy
clearly
shit.
opposed to being like identifiable, basically. Like all of his clothes
Well,
make
to
it,
be fair, all of the vigilantes are wanted by the government
well,
here.
one of the vigilantes is currently half dressed.
Yeah, inside of this establishment where I hope I don't have a mole.
Yes,
No, that's fair.
you
That's
should be
fair.
fine here.
Yeah.
But literally he walks up and he just like does like the 2-finger salute at you, and then he sits
and
down.
I think he just kind of
awkwardly,
does it back.
and like he just sits down awkwardly and is holding a glass of water, but can't drink it because his mask is fully
think-
like blocking. So
I
he
think
just
Bond
puts it
reaches
back
into
down.
his bag and kind of pulls out a tiny little, because he has his chalk, pulls out a tiny little chalkboard and just slides it to you. If there's anything pertinent you might need to be detailed about, you could go ahead and say it like this.
He like nods or he does the 2-finger salute again.
I just do it back again, just
This is
fully
going to
in
be so
character.
fun for an audio podcast.
That's why I gave him the chalkboard, so he can say things.
And then in the chalk zone, he writes, "Hi, I'm Phantom Bolt." That's
Pleasure
it.
to meet you, Phantom Bolt.
Finn kind of says, "That's enough, Phantom Bolt. We have to get through this."
Please keep this trope going forever.
And he looks at her and gives a sad 2-finger salute. It's like kind of down.
What are these fine costume folks doing?
Yeah. So,
Also,
Finn
I
sort of.
assume- I'm just assuming these are also vigilantes.
Oh yes.
Good.
Yeah,
good.
I
thought there might have been
called
like
the
villains
three of
maybe
you
in this
here
trap.
today, and I hope that it's okay that I did with all of you. But Owen and I, and she gestures over to Owen, like kind of nodding, like come over here to join the conversation. She says, Owen and I have sort of caught some troubling murmurs from around town. There is, I mean, as you know, tensions are pretty high between the government and the people of Duradera right now.
The three of us wouldn't be in this room if things hadn't gone the way they've gone.
Neither would I. Granted, I'm not wearing spandex.
No, I get it, but you play a much larger role than you give yourself credit.
Well, I appreciate it. But you know, for whatever reasons you would suggest, word has gotten around of another. I mean, I know you all know that there are a number of vigilantes, as they're being called. That has such a negative connotation.
The
that
Knuckle
I don't
prefers the
love.
term liberator.
I like that.
Okay,
That's pretty cool.
Liberators.
I call myself a disruptor.
Phantom Bolt. What?
The
you good
Knuckle
with
is
that?
pleased with Disruptor.
A little thing. It's every now and then some stuff's got to get shaken up. And what is this? Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Phantom. Please.
Phantom Bolt.
It stops writing.
Yeah, he stops
as
writing
he's-
what's up.
sorry,
And then,
so sorry.
and then he finishes and he goes, "I want to be a saboteur. It sounds fancy."
These align so well. All of these things are keys to liberation.
So
You know,
all of these are good. So I do not want. I don't claim to be, nor do I want to be sort of the person who decides what causes are just or what
Yeah.
methods are appropriate or what have
I think
you.
we can all agree on one thing that isn't political. I don't want to be in space.
That's fair. But so
Under these
word has been getting
circumstances.
around Well, yeah, space is pretty badass if it were like
Space is
this.
fucking cool. Don't get me wrong. This is scary.
No, we've had multiple conversations about how cool this would be if we weren't,
if it wasn't so scary.
being held under the thumb of a tyrannical government. But another person has, come about and clearly feels very passionate about the same things we're talking about.
Really?
There's a young man who calls himself the Twister,
Interesting.
who has been doing similar things to you, but I will say is a much more let's say aggressive with.
Oh, he punches
his-
first, asks questions while punching type.
He definitely does that, and I, when we're talking about these the city guard, and all of these people who are more or less imprisoning us, I don't necessarily have a problem with that per se. There's some muddy water we could get into, but the reason I called you all here is I think we are starting to wade into that muddy water, or rather, this Twister fellow has started to wade into this muddy water.
Hold on. The
go ahead.
Phantom Bolt, it quietly wrote on his chalkboard and then shows it to the knuckle, just to the side, not to interrupt the conversation. And it just says, titty, ? Twister?
Knuckle, I think. Please make
The
that.
What does the
laughs.
knuckle think about
Knuckles
this?
laugh. Yeah. That's the Knuckles laugh.
I think Finn says, Phantom Bolt, you passing notes, share it with the class.
He just goes stiff and he just shows it. And he looks sad.
He just puts his fist
Owen
on
says,
his.
yeah, we were all thinking it.
He just puts
By
his
the way,
fist on
he's
his
just he wasn't prepared to have a chalkboard, so he's just wiping it with his sleeves. So his sleeves at this point have chalk on both of them.
Nice.
So it kind of ruins his black outfit.
Sorry, it's lavendery white chalk.
The knuckle will pass Phantom Bolt just like a mangy looking cloth that he just has on him.
God.
And he gives you a salute,
Oh,
2-finger salute, and then he tucks it into his glove. So it's half sticking out.
I love
But
it.
it's covering the chalk
Finn
spot. I love
Finn
it.
says, so I don't know who this titty twister fellow is, but
The knuckle.
but
laughs again.
the word on the street is that he has plans to attack some government buildings.
Ooh,
Once again, kind of a muddy water, because
think-
the government is being very
No,
oppressive, but
100%.
also citizens work
Yes,
there.
I-
I don't know exactly what their plans are.
I think I know. I don't think we stop him. I think our game plan, is
Phantom
to get
Bolt
people,
quickly writes,
We need
and
to
it
get
says,
people
burn down the
fuck-
courthouse?
No. You can do whatever you want. I don't know you. I don't really work with people, but if you could, think about this from an objective standpoint. Maybe if we evacuate people or tell people, hey, you should probably leave, there's going to be a bad thing that happens bomb-wise. Get him out of there. He can do whatever the fuck he wants. But then there's displaced people. I don't think he should blow it up. I'm sorry. Not right now. This is our only home for the time
Owen
being.
chimes in. We don't know which buildings are being targeted. We don't know what their strategy is, whether they're planning on blowing it up, like you say, or if they're planning on just. I don't
Right.
know. This is
There
just
could be something violent
chatter.
that happens to the city in any capacity. And while I do not like the government, the building didn't cause this.
government where you went. So wait, your problem is with the building specifically? It's the property damage that
It's
Bond
not
doesn't
the,
like?
No, it's not the property damage about it.
Hero.
I'm scared that it's going to burn down and destroy other shit that's attached, because I picture everything's too
That's
close because it's like a weird future city.
Oh,
And
yeah,
so, like,
everything's definitely
you blow
close
something up
together.
You're bound to get really bad collateral. It's not about. I don't care about
Yeah.
the business being blown up. I told him he could do whatever
and
he
we
wants.
all know most of the government buildings are
Bring-
in or around town square.
Yes, bring them to the guillotine. Maybe fuck it up to where they can't get inside, but don't stop people from going home or being in the neighborhood or going. I don't know. I don't know what the answer is, but I don't give a shit that he wants to kill them. I'm working on myself. And while I, at one point, would definitely have spoken of ha, rah, rah, sis kumbaya, like really cheering this guy on, I think we need to fucking shake them out of their complacency, out of their stupidity. I think we just need to show them the fact that we're just aimlessly floating through space.
I think that we don't quite have enough information as to what is actually going on. I think a good first step.
Well, you can't just come out of the gate and say somebody's planning terror.
You will do what you wish, but I think that a good first step would be to try to figure out what exactly they're planning on doing. Because I do agree. I think that the waters here are muddy enough, not to overdo that analogy. I think they're muddy enough that
one second.
Things might be okay.
One second.
Might not.
My stomach is just. I'm so sorry to cut you guys off. I gotta go real bad. And he just runs to the bathroom, and then Bond in the bathroom casts fog, fog cloud. And as he comes rolling out, the bunch of fog comes rolling out. He's like, "Oh, do not go in there." Okay. So I talked to Bloodmoon while he was in there. He's doing a number 2, so it's about to be like Chernobyl styled, like toxic waste. Don't do it.
Oh my god!
Let me get an intelligence check from the other two of you. I don't. Is there a better
insight.
check? Like insight? Yeah.
Insight.
Give me
Can
insight.
I roll a
check.
deception?
Sorry, we haven't rolled
Can I roll
anything
a
in
deception?
forever. Yeah. Give me a roll for deception as well.
Can we have advantage because this is very...
Hey, trust me, unless you roll what I just rolled, you don't have to roll any sort of advantage. You don't need advantage. You won't need advantage. Yeah, I rolled a natural 1.
Oh man, okay, yeah.
He's definitely still
You
sweating.
straight up fail to deceive
14.
them.
14.
Well, I don't know how they
Knuckle.
want to react to
yes.
this thing, but he's clearly, like, you can see some of the costumes
Jeremy,
stuffed
what'd you
into his
roll?
suit really hastily.
I've got 7.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. The two of you like look at each other and then look at Finn, and Owen just kind of shrugs like, I don't fucking know, dude.
Phantom Bolt just writes Bond equal Bloodmoon ? And shows it to you.
No, he says, and he's doing like just waving his hands, and as he's doing that, you can clearly see like the sleeve of the costume, and like it's kind of zipped in hastily into the suit that he's wearing and shit. No. That's not at all. I saw Bloodmoon. Bond plus Bloodmoon equals stinky bathroom forever for all time because of what we did in there with our butts.
As he says that, Phantom Bolt just puts a not equal sign through the
correct.
equals, and then he gives him a thumbs up and a salute.
Very good.
I think he just, all right, and gives you a thumbs up, but like he had to stop himself from absolutely saluting back to you. Like you see him go for it, and he just
Finn says, Bond, what are you doing?
Listen, it's almost daybreak after a bit. We can't investigate tonight. Bloodmoon had to go somewhere to do more crime fighting.
Okay, so
And so what I am suggesting
that is fair. That
what
is
I'm
fair.
suggesting is I can hit the streets by day, perhaps. See if I can hear anything, spot anything. Notice any telltale signs of someone doing the kind of work I try to do, but like extreme.
I think that's a good point. The sun, well, the artificial sun.
Yes,
it's all confusing.
It's
the quote
hell
unquote
on Earth
sun will be
in the space
rising here within the hour. So I say that's a good point. Let's call it for the night, and let's regroup tomorrow evening.
Yes,
and we'll
do a
figure
stakeout
out
situation.
what to do.
Try to find some clues, investigations.
Yeah. Owen and I will.
Bloodmoon will do that. Not me. I won't be there. I won't be.
Yes, Bloodmoon, of course.
Yes.
Owen and I will continue to listen around to see if we learn anything, and the three of you, if you would keep your eyes and ears open as well, we'll regroup tomorrow night.
And he just kind of pushes the bathroom door again. You okay? He's gone.
I think for the first time, like,
God damn it.
the Knuckle, like, legitimately stopped finding it funny. And has it, like, is just looking at him with, like, the just most confused, like, disturbed look.
Yeah. Owen looks to you, the Knuckle, and kind of gives you a knowing nod. Like,
another nod,
this,
and another
this is just
shrug.
the way this is going to be.
What do you mean? He's gone.
On the way out, the Knuckle will bump up next to Bond, and
I also want to go to Moaning Low Key to see what people's reaction to the fiasco he left behind that night.
Before we leave, but after Bond leaves, the last thing Phantom Bolt is going to do before we cut away is he writes Bond equals okay ? And shows it to them.
Sure, I mean, I don't
The
have a
Knuckle
problem
is
with anybody
unsure.
who's
No,
against.
you're not here.
No, you left.
He did this
Oh.
after.
Yeah.
He did this.
yeah,
The
Knuckle
stranger is worried
unsure.
about this other person.
Yeah, Finn says, do you mean physically or emotionally?
And then with that, Phantom Bolt just puts a not equal sign through and looks sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cut to
Just
cut
hard
to
sleeping.
town square.
Hard sleeping.
Oh, you're asleep?
No. I feel like he definitely wakes up after a while, but like I assumed he would get like a short rest or something.
Oh, I just thought you said you wanted to go see what the reaction was.
Like in the would they know right away? I guess they probably
Well,
would.
I said that
Okay, yeah, no.
the sun was
Cut
coming
that.
up within
No
the
sleeps.
hour.
No sleeps. He'll sleep later.
Yeah.
Sleep is for the weak.
I'll sleep when I'm dead.
I'm sleeping.
Bond, you make your way inconspicuously back to town square. I think you probably picked up some street meat, some
Street
food along the way, just to kind of inconspicuously
Definitely
blend
one of
in.
those
You've
meat
got
cubes you
a
talked
big
about.
sippy cup full of olive oil.
Oh,
Just,
no.
just kidding. I know Bond hates the idea that they drink olive oil here.
Eating some hamster
But-
nuggets.
Yeah,
Oh,
you've got
God.
some hamster nuggets,
A meat
and you're
cube on a
making your
stick.
way. You're making your way back into town square inconspicuously because there's a bunch of people out and about. And as you get towards downtown, there's a surprising amount of people who are up and about. They're kind of gathered around in the park area of town square. You see that there are a few robot guards attempting to scrub off all the graffiti from the walls, but it's all very visible still. It seems like they're going to be at it for a while before all that goes away. You also see this. It seems like this crowd likely recently gathered because the ones that you hogtied on the stage are just being set free from that, and one of them stands up and starts to report to another one of the guards as to what happened and what had been going on.
Because the hypnotized ones, yeah.
Yes. The other, yeah, exactly. A few of them, three of them don't really understand what happened, but one of them was able
The
to at
hypnotic
least
pattern
see
was
you.
also just like a quick flash of like plaid.
Oh, gotcha.
It's like intense plaid. And then,
Yeah. Are you wanting to listen in on that, or are you
yeah,
just
I
kind of
think,
taking in what's
I think
happening?
I kind of want to. I'm gonna be real stealthy about it too. I want to
Yeah.
be real deal, like just sneak in. Just oh my god, I don't know if I needed to roll for it, but I rolled a 20.
I was going to make you. You rolled a nat 20?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and he's just
I think
trying to be the
here's
most
thing.
casual possible in his.
You
stuff.
have the best disguise possible. Food and a drink, walking down the street. Nobody's suspicious of a guy who's just,
Yep.
just looking around.
Mhm.
You make your way up toward the stage inconspicuously, and you kind of overhear one of the guards relaying information to the other. They basically tell them that they were more or less attacked or apprehended by a figure in a black leather outfit with a red cape, a crescent moon symbol on the mask, basically sort of getting across that another previously either unknown or lesser known vigilante has sort of sparked up, made an appearance, basically adding to the list of the problem figures that this city guard has in their repertoire. And I think that one guard takes that note, which not physically because they're robots. It listens to all that, sort of processes it for a second, and gives it a nod and walks away.
I think he just Like, without trying to share too much smugness on his face, he just kind of like trots off eating his meat cube, and he's like, he kind of strolls back into like an early, still locked, but like probably cleaning up for the night ahead of them, the barn. He's like, "Have you heard the news? Bloodmoon is a menace to society." He's done a big stinky in the park, and he's made everyone look.
Bond is going to get arrested immediately.
No, there's no customers here. He's just talking to whoever the fuck owns the bar. I figure it was like own one of them, right?
Yeah. So they don't own it, but they
shit, my bad.
sort of like I think that Owen and Finn kind of help run it now. I think it's less of an establishment than it was before, and now it's like almost like a clubhouse for like.
He's really saying it.
Bloodmoon's saying it. I think actually you're probably talking to Owen. He says, "Bloodmoon, what's going on?"
The thing. Have you not? Did I not? I guess I didn't really get a chance to talk about that because we got down to the brass tacks of what's. You should take a stroll around Central Park, grab a meat cube, take in the sights. Maybe you'll see a bit of modern art. Not by me, of course.
Bond, go to sleep.
I'm very tired.
I think Owen tells you to go to sleep, and you make your way back to your sewer home. And then Owen does stroll over to Town Square because he's very interested. And I think that you have a good long rest for the night, or for the day, morning.
Yeah, no, he's fully sleeps now. His sleep schedule is sleep by day, up by night. So does the moon rise.
When the sun falleth.
So I think the three of you, along with Finn and Owen, meet up again, except this time to sort of discuss your plans. Y'all meet in that back room of the barn. The barn is a really safe place that you all know or believe, but just in case, since this is kind of like y'all aren't talking just about the government at this point, like there's other stuff going on.
Bond's made peace with the fact that there's probably not truly a safe place in the entirety of Duradera. So he's like, fuck it, we ball.
Yeah, you all have drinks. I don't know if the Knuckle or Phantom Bolt drink, but y'all have something.
He's having a nice seltzer.
The Knuckle has like the biggest flask of like whatever, or not flask, the biggest fucking like tankard.
Just a giant,
like a cudgel.
Just a giant tankard of like just whatever mead or whatever.
Phantom Bolt has one of those comically large margaritas, the blue ones with
like
a curly straw going through his mask.
Nice.
and it's not an alcoholic seltzer. Bond has like a pineapple seltzer, like just like a plain like fizzy
fresh
pineapple seltzer. Because I told you
he's got a La Croix.
Yeah, exactly. Like he's got a a La Barn.
God.
Because you know his name's on every fucking thing.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
A LeBarn. Yeah, he's sipping a pineapple LeBarn.
You're all having your drinks and kind of catching up on everything that everyone had done through the day, kind of listening in for any sort of information. And Finn tells you that they haven't figured out any more about the Twister's plans, but they did learn that he has a handful of henchmen, or, people who work with him. Henchmen sounds like specifically like a villain thing, but
employees.
He has a number of
sidekick ?
Sidekicks, followers, whatever you want to say.
Yeah.
There's not a great way to say that doesn't that all of those imply something. And all that Finn knows is that he has a posse. Let's say posse.
Okay, yeah. It's like how Joker had a bunch of guys with like them paint, but they're not Joker. Exactly.
She says, yeah, so I have learned that he has a bit of a posse that follows him around. I don't know how involved they are with the operation, but I think it's reasonable that we could probably arrange some sort of meetup with some of this posse. maybe we could get the Twister as part of this, but I don't know.
I think you leave that aspect
he seems to
of
be
it
a little
to
bit of a
us.
ghost. Yeah, I haven't been able to learn much about him as an individual, but he has this posse clearly, and I think our best bet is to probably track down and talk to some of them, see if we can learn something.
Absolutely. If there's
Murder?
a threat
Question
of danger, yeah, that's my biggest thing. We're trying to keep at least lives lost. I don't know about them; they seem to be able to handle themselves well.
Scratches
But
it out.
and he looks to you and the Knuckle, and he's like, by all means, we try to talk them into our side of things, but we don't hit first.
The Phantom writes, "What is our side?" Question mark.
I want them to rethink the plan a bit. I don't mind putting them in the stockades and spanking them in front of the public, right? Or
Owen kind of speaks up. To be fair, we don't.
I want to
know what their plan entails.
Yes, I want to see what they're all about. I'm trying to send a message. I don't know what you two are about. I don't really work with you, nor do I. And this is going to sound a lot harsher than it means. Care. I was kind of doing this before I even knew you existed, right? And no, Phantom Ball. I can see you getting sad over there.
Phantom Ball looking down slowly as you're talking.
This isn't like a loner thing. That chalkboard's for you. You really got to work on your communication skills in meetings like this. But you can be silent as the night when you're fucking out there doing your thing. And I'm not trying to stop either of you from doing your thing. But violence shouldn't be the first go-to unless...
The Knuckle wonders if we should just talk?
Yes,
Question mark?
Precisely. That's exactly my point.
Can we
have this meeting, ask them what their whole deal's about, and see if we can't join forces. If we don't see eye to eye, then we have a little bit of a scrap. Like if they're too horny about the bombing of a building that could or could not have innocent lives in it, you know what I mean? Like really think on that. Like I tied up a couple
violence,
robots.
Second choice.
Yes. Hold on.
Thumbs up.
And I kind of look at Finn, and Bloodmoon kind of looks at Finn and Owen, right? Figure it out, then choose violence if they choose. You know,
I don't think violence should be off the table.
No, not at all.
I just don't think it should be our go-to.
Because rest assured, from any mixed information we might have about these people, I feel like there's one thing in common: fuck the upper crust and those who think that they're above us, that they know what's going on. I could tell you from personal experience, there's Bloodmoon and my good friend Bon, who you've probably met.
I think the Knuckle just sighs like, okay.
We know what they're about, and they're about as much of what I've got in my pocket. Let's see. Oh, it's fucking nothing, and he just flips off the room. Not necessarily anyone in particular. You know what I mean? Like they have no plan whatsoever, and we're just drifting. I don't like that.
You'll hear from the other side of the room, "Eat the rich."
Damn right. Damn right. We should take them out into the street, tar and feather them, and spank them in front of everyone. That's the only payment I'll accept.
Phantom Bolt starts loading. He starts preparing his non-lethal bolts, which are just normal bolts that say non-lethal on the side. But other than that, they are just normal.
Thank you.
Bolts.
At least he's making an earnest attempt.
He has a thumbs up.
And I also give him a thumbs up, just fully ignoring the fact that they're just regular ass crossbow bolts.
The Knuckle starts popping every bone in his body, like starts with his knuckles and just
God,
like
he's doing the fucking Dragon Ball Z leg stretches and shit. All right, I think one of them definitely understands. I think the other is
the Knuckle
pending.
Is ready to talk, but the Knuckle will also beat some heads in.
The Knuckle talks with his fist.
I agree. Then it's I guess for now we form a temporary alliance to ascertain information and hopefully make our numbers in this endeavor a little big. I can't believe this. You know, Bloodmoon doesn't normally work with people. I've said this multiple times. Bon will tell you.
Phantom Bolt pulls out his sending stone and writes share codes ? And he looks like really happy,
codes?
and he's like holding out how do you call people on the sending stones?
Share
phone
I see what
number,
you're
whatever.
saying.
Yeah.
Share.
He just kind of like presses his sending
Digits?
stone that he's got in his suit up to yours, and you just hear like a little boop boop.
Yeah.
You got
I think
it.
we had said it was kind of like an airdrop, kind of.
Yeah.
Like you touch them
I
together.
love that.
He just kind of smushes them together like two toys.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, you got it. And you have one of these, the Knuckle?
Actually, I don't think the Knuckle would have one.
That's A-okay. So what I'm thinking...
Phantom
Right?
Bolt is just doing a happy little dance in the seat,
Where-
just like
where-
swaying
where-
happily.
Is
Hold
there
this way.
are there talks of where they might congregate for like a, you know, this kind of powwowy situation? Is there like the barn situation, like another bar or some other?
Finn says, I don't know where, if there is a place that they sort of, I mean, I'm sure there is a place that they sort of make their like base of operations,
Mm-hmm.
but as far as I do not know where that might be.
I think I can just sort of. I have a gut instinct about rowdiness, and I think I can pick up what they're putting down, even if they're not on patrol or doing. You know what I mean? I think give us some time with the three of our heads better than one. I think we can ascertain some stuff, and I'd like to hit the streets and do an investigation check.
Yeah, I think the three of you all kind of, you know, call this meeting or adjourn this meeting as well, and all go off with the mission to either locate where the Twister and his posse hang out, what they like what they're like, where they like what they look like, sort of ascertain some sort of information to try to
that's basically it.
get some sort of meeting with them. I think the three of you, why don't you all give me just blanket like investigation checks? We'll say over the next couple days, the role will be more to figure out how long it takes for anyone to find something.
That's a 16 altogether for me.
Oh,
Not
damn.
very great, but not very
Natural
Five.
19 for 19.
5 for 5.
5 for 5.
So I think that unexpectedly, the Knuckle actually is the first to learn a crucial piece of evidence.
The Knuckle is a
not
professor in the
evidence,
state
information.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe. You don't know.
crime.
The Knuckle will never
but-
tell.
I think
Isn't he just an old man with a bat, like not disguised at all?
It's the
Basically.
old
Pretty
blind man
much,
from
yeah.
that one movie.
Pretty much.
basically. So the
don't
Knuckle actually, when you you meet, I'd say the group of you all meet like regularly while you're trying to figure information. You frequent the barn, and I think after just 3 days, the Knuckle actually comes to the group to let you all know that he figured out the sort of, they don't all wear the same costume, but they all have a sort of like matching theme.
Are they giving me some Cobra Kai energy or like some like show enough in his
So
crew?
I
just like, yeah,
keep-
we're
I
80s,
just-
not
I just keep
like
thinking
ambiguous
foot.
street toughs.
I just keep thinking the foot from the live action.
Yeah,
Ninja
like stuff like that
Turtles.
where it's like just like big hair and like shoulder pads for no reason and like a gi bottom but like football shoulder pads top. What's that about?
So they all, from what the Knuckle through the last 3 days, sort of keeping his ear to the ground and chatting with various people, unless that's not how you think the Knuckle would go about trying to gather information. I don't know.
I feel like he's just a big old dog and he's sniffing the ground.
I feel like it's the Deadpool Francis thing.
A little bit, just killing people until they have information.
Yeah.
Maybe.
That actually kind
The Knuckle will
of
never
tracks
tell.
for me.
I think as that's happening, if that is indeed the case where he's just knocking fools out as what do you know? I don't know anything. All right, well.
So the Knuckle comes to the meeting after that third night and informs you all that the Twisters posse or henchmen or whatever you want to call them, they all refer to themselves as Barney.
Is it ironic?
Well, yeah. No, they all just for fun, like, yes.
No, I like.
They
No,
all
you're good.
refer to themselves as Barney, as far as he knows, the Twister doesn't, but all of the henchmen specifically. And they all dress sort of like classic like 30s gangsters. They all wear like baggy suits and ties.
Oh my god, yes.
Those
So,
fucking
like,
hats.
Yeah, so we've talked about how like the dress here generally is pretty extravagant, and so like it doesn't stick out like a sore thumb, I wouldn't say. But once you know that piece of information, like you kind of
immediately
realize I have seen a bunch of these
man.
guys now that
Oh,
you
boy.
mention it. And so as far as you know, that's your best lead to sort of gain some information. I'll let y'all kind of talk about what you want to do with that.
So we've kind of got a lead. Do you want to tail one of these guys that you've seen? Do you? I've got some tricks of the trade, if you will, that I could toss about to make you boys a bit extra stealthy if you need it. But I no offense, the Knuckle, but I think Phantom Bolt's kind of got that in the bag. But you, my friend, maybe and he just kind of gives him a tap on the back and uses Blessing of the Trickster. So he's got
hell yeah.
stealth.
Hell yeah.
I think we tail one of these guys and see
The
if there's
Knuckle
like
appreciates.
see if there's like a place where they're setting up some bigger plans. I think if they're gonna do something, they're gonna be acting pretty soon because there's only so many meetings this Sparny fellow. Because wait a minute, that's so weird. I wonder why they call them.
The Knuckle does find this very disturbing.
You think it's some sort of weird like I don't. You know what? It's too vague to say. It's too vague to say. I think
The Knuckle thinks we shouldn't think about it.
Yes, we go in mind sharp and we try to see if we can't seek an audience with them. Maybe they're impressed that we found them. Maybe they're not, and they freak out. And they're like, "Yo, what are you doing in our hideout? Get the fuck out of here!" And then we get into a fight, and they're like, "Oh, all right, you got tough stuff. Let's try to talk this out."
And then the Knuckle bashes some heads.
Maybe don't hey.
The Knuckle
fellas,
is fine with talking first.
I was talking to Owen, by the way, before you guys showed up after your clue successes, and he was telling me that the bolts that say non-lethal are actually just the same kind of thing. I know you probably operate in a certain way, but here in Bloodmoon Town, that's not how we run things, all right? A lot of people could get hurt if you go just swinging wildly or just writing words down hoping for the best. At least promise me you'll try to not kill someone.
Phantom Bolt thinks for a second, and then he pulls out like practice bolts that like have little like pads on the tip, like for a child's bolt.
Almost like they're like those sandbag guns.
Like
so much
little,
better.
like,
So much better. What I mean to say is this is the first time Bloodmoon's been more serious for a long time. I've seen a lot of war before this. Before being stuck in space and
Insight check.
while I don't he's talking from the perspective of Bond, but he's not saying that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've killed my fair share of folks. You know? For whatever cause or whatever, but I think that was because I wasn't willing to listen or talk. And sometimes you can't talk, and that's important to understand too. Not everybody wants to hear what the fuck you have to say. But if it comes to it, protect yourself. But if we can avoid bloodshed, let's try to.
And then someone from the other side of the room pipes up, "Bloodmoon is Bond."
Very quickly, Phantom Bolt gets up, grabs that person, and takes him to the bathroom, and you guys do not see that person again tonight.
I don't know what that gentleman was talking about. Anyway.
It was just a random guy.
Yeah, that's neither here nor there. I don't know.
They just
I know
put it
Bond.
together.
How could he possibly? We've been in the same room. We both went. You saw. We both went to the bathroom in this bar in the barn at the barn.
Oh my god.
You saw. Anyway.
After 10 minutes, he comes out, thumbs up, salute.
God, I'm not gonna lie. Off topic, but
off to a great start.
I'm just gonna be so pissed if Carveth around this time doesn't know yet. I'm gonna be so pissed.
God. What if that was Carveth?
Off to a smashing start, guys. Anyway, Yeah, I think
So y'all are going to follow.
Yeah, we're gonna pick a fool.
We're gonna do
stealth
some
abouts.
Yeah. So I think y'all are doing this at night, I assume.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Always.
Yeah.
that's the only time we meet.
Fair. Well, I wasn't sure if you were gonna wait for later, but yeah, I think that it takes y'all a little bit. I think y'all are kind of like skulking around town, and you eventually, I think one of you eventually finds or passes by a group of two walking down through town, and then sort of signals with your sending stones that
Two pigeons on the windowsill. I've spotted two pigeons on the windowsill. Over. Wait. I just thought about something. You're not going to be able to say anything to me because you don't fucking talk. Hey, buddy.
As you make that realization, you just hear from his side just a random citizen going, "What the fuck are you wearing? What do you mean? Say okay, I'll meet up with you. To who?" And
thank you so much, citizen. You've done a great service. And I just hang up immediately.
And then the knuckle just comes up from behind Black Bolt, the Phantom Bolt, and just like grabs the sending stone. The knuckle forgot that Phantom Bolt does not talk. I could talk for us.
It's okay, bud. I was telling him to meet up with me. It's great that you guys are together. And he's just sprinting on the phone, clearly running past them.
Just
like he's on the Wanderful, and you see him walk past you. Oh, hey, and he just puts it down. Yeah, they're going. Come back this way. Follow me.
The three of you meet up, and you said you're going to try to stealthily follow them.
Yeah, to the thing, and then
all right. I need stealth checks from everyone.
How long does that thing
Kyle,
last?
you said you gave.
We'll
both say that he waited to use it until he needed to use it.
I'll say for this current.
Ooh, I needed it too because I just rolled a nat 1.
Oof.
Phantom Bolt got a 25 for stealth.
Much better.
Very good.
12 plus 3, 15.
And then Phantom Bolt
better.
wants to parkour up to like the rooftops.
Mm-hmm.
I assume acrobatics. I beg acrobatics.
Parkour up to the rooftops? Yeah, acrobatics. I'll go with that.
As he does the
12.
parkour,
Wait, Bloodmoon, what did you roll?
Yeah. Oh, for stealth, I forgot. My bad. I did not roll anything yet. That is a 19.
Flat 19?
Yeah,
Cool.
no, it's 15 plus 4, 19.
Okay. What did you roll?
12 for
Phantom?
parkour.
12 for parkour?
15.
So does it just kind of take him a minute and like he's like going
As
up?
he's parkouring.
Hold on. Can it be like a fire escape and he's just running up the stairs to the roof of the
just trying to do it quietly.
The reason so the thing that gives me pause, yes, you rolled a really good stealth check, and then you tried to do some cool parkour, and you didn't roll great to do it.
You can make me roll stealth again with this, give it disadvantage or whatever.
As Bond sees him kind of like, or Bloodmoon sees him kind of like falling over himself, trying to do this parkour maneuver before he hits like a pile of trash cans and trash bags.
Okay.
He just casts Feather Fall out on him.
Okay. So give me a dexterity roll.
Ooh, okay.
To see if you can catch that in time.
Would you
I'm not gonna
believe
make the
me?
DC too high.
Would you believe me if that's not my forte?
I would. I'm not gonna set the DC too high though.
Okay.
Making a bad face.
That's 10.
10
Overall.
Not
10.
great.
Average.
That's 8 plus
So
2,
I-
10.
So you don't have enough time or your reflexes aren't quite fast enough to cast Feather Fall before
fair.
He potentially makes some noise. I will
I'm helping him out of the
Phantom,
trash bags.
yes.
I'll roll again. in the
Phantom,
same-
give me a save. What save do I want? Give me a dexterity save to attempt to catch yourself and not make a bunch of noise.
Oh my goodness. 26.
Okay, yeah,
Holy
you're good.
shit.
Thank goodness.
Oh
He like
my
catches
God.
himself.
Yeah.
He like cat.
Yes.
He lands like a cat.
It was very
around
not
the
cool,
garbage
but you
trash.
didn't alert anyone. Yeah, it was not smooth,
he
but
looks
no one
up,
was alerted to your presence.
2-finger salute.
And you look down, and the Knuckle is just watching this whole thing, just laughing.
Yeah,
to
just
himself,
sitting there watching.
And he's
Yeah,
like,
if you could have used
two
the
nut-
fire escape,
two-
we can. There's a.
Yeah, I think a lot less cool, but the Phantom Bolt manages to work his way up to the roof to sort of follow along. Are the other two of you just kind of like ducking into alleys and kind of...
I was going to follow, but the opposite side of the building. Like, I assume we ducked down an alleyway, and I was going to use rope trick, which I pull out that 60 feet of rope, and it just shoots perpendicular straight up, and I climb up to the roof and just hop onto the roof.
Okay.
We could have done that, too. There's a lot of ways to... Anyway.
the Knuckle will follow up, yeah.
Well, then I need both of you to make athletics checks to
bet.
climb up the
Athletics?
rope.
Hell yeah, dude.
Athletics.
Oh
That's
yeah,
my
the
forte.
Knuckles good with
I
that.
can't tell. That's a 9.
Oh man, good thing my thing's so high.
I got 11.
I got a 12. I rolled a 3.
So 12 was the check I set.
Oh god!
So
As if I missed it and I'm
you're
falling,
faced with a choice. You're faced with a choice, Bon.
am I falling?
You fail to climb up this rope. You realize you either can spend time and attempt to climb this rope again,
No.
and potentially lose the people you're following, or
Fuck it.
give up on that.
No, that's fine. Yeah, I'll just stop the rope from fucking floating there and just kind of just snatch it as I see him.
Did
on the
you,
roof during my climb. It's fine. I'll stealth through let the big man get on the roof and do a lot of hopping and nimble shit.
So the Knuckle and the Phantom Bolt are on the roof, and
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
and I'm
Okay.
ducking through the alleyways.
So the three of you pretty sneakily follow behind this group of Barneys as they're walking through town, kind of just chatting, not doing anything shady or anything, just kind of chatting. You can overhear they're just talking about what would they be talking about here? They're literally just talking about you know what? They're talking about a city guard that they beat up. Just
Oh my
like
God.
one, I think the one on the left just like did a really cool spin kick.
Oh my god!
And just won't shut up about it.
Is this
It's
Carvet?
really annoying.
Is this Carvet?
But you follow for a little while, and they lead you to a so it's another one of those kinds of like garages, kind of like Alandi has been staying in. It's not uncommon. Like there's a bunch of those kinds of things. They're basically like little like workshops, those sorts of things where various things are manufactured or repaired. A lot of the buildings here in Duradera are not carbon copies of each other, but are like, similar to each other.
Like not quite mass production, but in that vein of like, we just got to get the buildings up,
Yeah. So you follow and the two of them enter into this building. What do you do now?
Is there any windows I can see into the building from where
Nope.
they ended? No.
Well, so there are windows, but they have been like boarded up or covered in some
I am going
way.
to cast disguise self on myself to look like just Barney, like one of the regular old Barneys. And
Okay.
I am going to rap on the door. And before someone answers, I'm just going to call over the little phone. I'm going in.
Yeah. So the other two of you are presumably on the roof.
I assume the windows are like warehouse windows where they have windows on the roof that can kind
But
of
yeah, they're
open.
really high up. That's why I wasn't about to climb a rope anymore. I'm not.
The reason is Phantom Bolt, if he can, he's going to try to like sneak into like the rafters of the warehouse.
Yeah, the Knuckle would also
Yeah.
like follow.
The
Yeah,
Knuckle is
so,
so loud. Okay.
The Knuckle and he rolled.
Yeah,
his
he did
stealth
better
check.
stealth
Fair.
checks than both of us.
That's not true. But
No.
anyway,
Yeah, I rolled the lowest.
Oh, whoops.
That's
but he
15.
rolled a fine stealth check.
Yeah.
yeah, it's fine.
So the other two make their way up onto the roof. There is a rooftop entrance. There's no one like guarding the roof or anything like that. And are y'all gonna try to sneak in, or are y'all gonna wait until like I assume y'all are kind of watching to see if Bloodmoon is able to get in?
Is it a door or is it like?
Yeah, I picture like, you know how in The Room, like in New York, I guess, there's just those doors that lead to stairs that go down into. I'm picturing kind of like that.
Are there any windows where like he'd be able to go? Because like those warehouses have like the support beams on the ceiling on the inside. Does that make sense?
Like for lighting and stuff, maybe. Like scaffolding, kind of like.
Yeah, like
it depends on
like metal beams.
I know what you mean.
Well, but like the roof is like a roof. What do you mean?
Well, can we find an access point to get us like to that area?
To hide inside on one of those,
like other than the door?
Yeah. Yes, sometimes these buildings have like skylight windows.
But like he said no one was guarding that door to be like, y'all could sneak in through there if you would like.
Well, you could. I'm just saying that no one's guarding because like sometimes if you picture like a bad guy's base, there might be people guarding. Right. I just am trying to say there's nothing like that. Mm-hmm. I don't think there is just like openings into the building. I think that like the building is sealed. I don't think there is a skylight here in this garage. I think it's just the door.
Okay.
Bloodmoon,
we go through the door.
So first things first, Bloodmoon, you knock on the door, and someone answers pretty much right away. They're dressed in the same outfit. Let
me kind of. I'm running behind.
Running behind. What are you?
I got things to do. Hey,
Terry.
After.
Terry, come here? Do you know this guy?
I was with the two that just literally walked in. They just were a little ahead of me. I have shit that I have to get back to. They told me about the meeting. I'm running late.
Oh, okay. Give me a persuasion.
Deception.
Is that deception?
I can see.
I guess either. Yeah, either is fine.
Okay, that is persuasion. Hell yeah! That's 6 plus 14. That's 20.
So Terry walks over and says, "Oh, yeah, I think that's Carmine, right?"
Yeah, absolutely. We don't need to get through the Carmine. Pleasantries and whatnot. I'm trying to get in, get whatever information I got to get. Like the gist. Fine. Yeah. And he just kind of strolls in after that, like.
Yeah.
Like,
so,
hey, where's the John? Real quick, I need to.
Oh my god! Not the bathroom.
You walk in and
we just wait. I got like garlicky hands. I don't want to.
Yeah, basically, what you see when you walk in is a large room. There's a large open warehouse room. I guess room doesn't feel like the right word, but you know what I mean. Mm-hmm. There are a handful of tables throughout the room with various things on it. Like there's some people making like rudimentary weapons, like there's people
you're like, good. I don't know what those weapons crazy. Are for, but like
well, like you don't know what those weapons are for.
They're buying soup for their family. I don't know what they're talking.
No, there's like things like bats and things like that being worked on. There's other things like being worked on, like just very freaking bats. There's other like various things being worked on, like household appliances. Like these are also just people, I guess. Mm-hmm. There is let's say there's like 8 of these Barneys here in the room aside from yourself. Mm-hmm. And you walk straight through to the bathroom. You see that there is another office building with a window leading into it, or I say building, sorry, like an office
within
on
this
the
building.
Far
yes,
end.
I get what you mean.
Yeah, and there's a window leading into it with a desk. There's no one in there, and you make your way to the bathroom. The other two of you, you open this door, or rather attempt to open this door, but it is locked.
Oh,
you can pick the lock if that's a thing.
What kind of roll would that be?
Depends what you're trying to do.
Pick the lock.
Do you have lockpick stuff?
No.
Jeremy, how's that work?
I don't remember, honestly. I think you can do it with disadvantage, but you have to justify like what you're using.
Like how you're doing it?
The
Yeah.
knuckle
It's his
turns
long
to Phantom
toenails.
Bolt. Yeah, the knuckle looks to Phantom Bolt.
He holds up
The
one of his
knuckle-
bolts.
Yeah, the knuckle would appreciate one of your bolts. Oh wait, I just turned Russian back. Hold on.
Corn
knuckle
knock,
would
nice
like
to meet
to-
you.
The knuckle.
The knuckle would like to use one of your bolts.
He just hands him.
And he literally just grabs it and like jams it into the thing and starts trying to like jiggle it around and like.
All right, I need you to make a roll. I guess
I think it would still be like it would still be a
dexterity.
Like a sleight of hand or.
Well, it would no. So you roll a tool proficiency, but it's just he's not proficient, so it's just a straight.
It's
roll.
just a straight up and down.
Yeah, it's just
Okay.
a straight up and down.
Okay. I can do
All right,
that.
just a normal lock. I would say this is just a DC of 12.
Okay. 16.
Okay, so I think the knuckle. So here's what we got. The knuckle. You go up to the door. You take Phantom Bolts, one of his crossbow bolts,
Labeled
and you jam it
lockpick.
into. Yeah, you
I was
jam
gonna
it
say, I
into
bet it
the-
says spare key.
Spare key. That's even better.
You
Yes,
jam it
labels
into
all.
the lock of the door and basically destroy the mechanism inside the lock.
You'll never lock again.
I will say, you do notice that this makes a fair bit of noise. I don't know if it was you don't know if it was quite enough noise to be worried. But that was not very stealthy of you.
Okay.
Just jamming a crossbow bolt into a door.
Yeah. Hey.
You gonna just go
No,
in?
I fucking
No,
love
I wanna like the knuckle will like try to check, like kind of get quiet and try to check and see if like anybody like heard that or if he hears any commotion to
As far as you can tell, the noise sounds pretty. You can't really hear anything from inside.
How bright is the inside?
Like from like underneath the door, you mean?
Yeah, like we opened the door.
Oh, I asked. You said I asked if you open it, and he said he was waiting to.
Yeah.
listen.
Is there light coming from under the door? I guess.
No, I said that, and then I realized the door to the outside would likely have a seal. You wouldn't be able to
Okay.
Okay. The Phantom Bolt is gonna creak the door open real tiny to see if there's light in there.
Yeah, there is. You kind of creak it open, and you see basically like a sort of kind of like a spiral staircase that goes down into the building,
Okay.
and there is light.
Is there any way he hasn't given up on this yet? Is there any way for him to parkour into like
oh my god.
into the roof scaffolding?
I would say yes.
Okay. That's what he's going to
Give
quickly
me,
try to do.
yeah, give me an acrobatics check.
The knuckle would like to follow, but can I use athletics?
No,
Damn.
It's hold on. Let me
Okay.
do
My acrobatics
quick
are
math.
still pretty good.
23.
23. Okay.
Ooh, 15.
15. Yeah, I'd say both of you like creak open the door, and rather than going down the stairs, you try to parkour your way into the scaffolding at the top. The building's tall, but it's only like I guess in the warehouse it's only like 2 stories to the ceiling, so it's not like a super tall room. But the two of you crawl your way up into the scaffolding, and you look down and see 8 henchmen looking up at you
Oh
Wait.
shit, what? I'm assuming
because they all heard the person jamming something into the door upstairs.
Oh my god.
At which point, Bloodmoon, dressed as Barney, walks out of the bathroom and sees everyone looking at his compatriots.
Go off, sis. Excuse me.
Preach.